They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again while expecting different results. So what if the real insanity is setting New Year's goals in the first place? Think about it. How many goals have you set over the years? Now, how many of them actually became reality? For most people, goals are like lottery tickets. You pick a number, cross your fingers, and hope sheer luck or a sudden burst of willpower will carry you through. And when it doesn't, you're left staring at the same unfulfilled dreams year after year, convincing yourself that this time will be different. But there is someone who approaches goals differently, Ayanokoji Kiyotaka. He sets his sights on something and makes it happen. And it's not because he's luckier, more resourceful, or grinding 20-hour days. What sets him apart is simple. He understands something most people don't. The normal way to set goals is broken, and if you want to adopt a system that actually works, one that takes you beyond broken promises, then be sure to watch this video all the way to the end, because this 9-minute investment might just change the course of your entire year. Let's get started. First, let me tell you what not to do, and trust me, when I first came across these findings, I was shocked. They completely flipped everything I thought I knew about goal setting. These are strategies you've probably been told to swear by, but as it turns out, they could be the very reason you're stuck. Let's break them down. The first mistake is relying on visualization and static visual reminders to stay motivated. You've probably heard it before. Imagine how great your life will be when you achieve your goals, or create a vision board filled with everything you want to accomplish. While these approaches sound pretty beneficial, research shows they can actually backfire. When you vividly imagine the future success you're aiming for, your brain starts to feel like you've already accomplished it. Physiologically, your blood pressure drops, your motivation fades, and your body essentially shifts into chill mode when it should be gearing up for action. The same happens with visual reminders, like sticky notes or vision boards. Your brain's visual system adapts to anything it sees regularly, turning those once inspiring notes into background noise, no different from the wallpaper you've stopped noticing. However, there is actually a solution here. Instead of creating a vision board once and leaving it there to gather dust, you need to make your reminders dynamic. Refresh them daily. Rewrite your goals, move your sticky notes to different locations, or find new ways to represent what you're working toward. This keeps your brain engaged and alert instead of falling into the trap of adaptation. Now for the third mistake, don't announce your goals to the world. You might think that telling everyone about your big plans, becoming a doctor, running a marathon, or starting a business will make you more accountable and motivated, but research shows the opposite. When you share your goals and people respond with enthusiasm like, "That's such a great idea," or "You're going to crush it," your brain gets an early dopamine hit. This premature sense of reward tricks you into feeling like you've already achieved something, which actually makes you less likely to take action. Instead, keep your goals to yourself and treat them like a personal mission. This way, you'll prevent your motivation from fizzling out before you even get started. But while knowing what not to do can stop you from falling behind, the real question is, how do you move forward? That's where today's sponsor Skillshare comes in. Recently, I've been exploring ways to work smarter, not harder, which is why I started taking Ali Abdal's Productivity Masterclass on Skillshare. What makes this class so valuable is how it tackles common myths, like "I don't have enough time," while introducing actionable laws like Parkinson's Law, the Pareto Principle, and even how physics can help you work better. For those who don't know, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives and lifelong learners. It offers thousands of expert-led classes on productivity, self-improvement, creativity, and more. And the best part? The first 500 people to use my link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So if you're serious about leveling up and making real progress on your 2025 goals, this is the perfect place to start. Now let's talk about what actually works to achieve your goals. Crafting the perfect goal is an art. It's about creating something so precise, so compelling, and so ambitious that it doesn't just inspire you, it drives you to take action. But how do you design such a goal? Well, here's the first step. Choose a priority. It might sound simple, but most people get this completely wrong. They try to tackle too much at once. Start exercising, learn a language, meditate daily, and launch a business all at the same time. This overhaul approach almost always fails because your focus is spread too thin. The word priority literally means one thing you place ahead of all others, and that's exactly how you should approach your goals. To do that, take a moment to really think about what matters most to you right now. Write out all the things you want to achieve and cross off the ones you're willing to put on hold, then circle the one goal that truly stands out as your priority. It could be improving your fitness, excelling in your studies, or mastering a new skill. Whatever it is, make sure it aligns with your values and is something you genuinely care about. Once you've defined your priority, commit to focusing on it above all else, at least for this phase of your journey. But don't stop there. The next tool is just as crucial. Set a lofty goal. Here's why. Many people think picking an easy goal makes them more likely to succeed, but science tells a different story. When a goal feels too easy, your brain doesn't engage the neural circuits needed for sustained effort. It's the discomfort, the frustration, and even the anxiety that come with a slightly out-of-reach goal that trigger neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself for growth. This means your goal should feel challenging, just enough to stretch you beyond your comfort zone, but not so far that it feels impossible. Here's an example. If you're aiming to get fit, don't just say, "I'll go for a jog once in a while." Instead, set a goal to run 3 miles 3 times a week. If you're learning a new language, aim to hold a 10-minute conversation by the end of the month. These are the kinds of goals that activate the parts of your brain responsible for sustained focus and effort. Next, it's time to get specific. Really specific. This is where most people lose momentum because their goals are too vague. Saying, "I want to get better at running," or "I want to ace my exams," isn't enough. You need to define exactly what actions you'll take and how much time you'll dedicate to them. For example, instead of, "I want to get better at running," write, "I'll run 3 miles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Instead of, "I want to ace my exams," commit to, "I'll spend an hour every evening practicing topic X and another 30 minutes listening to educational videos." And if you really want to go all the way, then write your plan down by hand. Science consistently shows that committing plans to paper enhances focus and dramatically increases the likelihood of success. So grab a pen and paper and map out the specific actions you'll take, the time you'll dedicate each week, and how you'll measure your progress. Now that you've learned what not to do and how to set your goals the right way, there's still one piece of the puzzle that can't be ignored: motivation. It's the fuel that turns plans into progress, and at its core lies dopamine, the molecule that drives effort. But here's the thing: the way you manage rewards plays a huge role in how effectively dopamine drives your motivation. If you reward yourself too frequently, or only at the very end of achieving your goal, your brain starts to lose interest, and your motivation actually declines. This is where random intermittent reinforcement comes into play. Instead of rewarding yourself every time you hit a milestone, or waiting until the very end, you introduce an element of unpredictability. For example, after a productive session, flip a coin. Heads, treat yourself to a snack or an episode of your favorite show. Tails, skip the reward this time and move on. This randomness keeps your brain engaged, just like how slot machines hook players. It makes the process exciting and keeps your motivation alive. And don't forget about cognitive rewards. After all, these are equally powerful. At the end of a session, take 30 seconds to acknowledge your progress. Think, "I'm doing this, I'm showing up, and I'm improving." That simple acknowledgement can create a dopamine boost, but don't overdo it. Instead, flip that coin again. Heads, bask in that sense of accomplishment. Tails, simply move on to the next step. This simple tweak can dramatically increase your motivation over the long haul. That's it for today. Respect for watching until the end. However, remember that watching this video isn't enough. Your goals won't achieve themselves, and no tool can save you from inaction. Start small, start today, and start with a system designed to win. And if you want to go even deeper into how to optimize your brain for success, don't miss the guide on screen right now. It's a game changer, especially if you're still battling to break free from bad habits. You got this, bro.